Universe, where you learn the secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases you learn the secrets of the universe itself. This is Kurt Wilhelm, your host, and I am joined today by Russell Espinoza, who is a person who knows a lot about the cloud and how to make money in the cloud. That's the big thing everybody wants to know, is that not only how convenient it is for them or how fun it is for them, but how do I make money in the cloud? And so we're going to be talking about that a little bit. So Russell, definitely welcome on the show.
Oh, thank you, Kurt. It's great to be here.
You bet. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Russell. You grew up in Hawaii, and I had a beg to differ conversation where he said they grew up in the rough part in the ghettos of Hawaii. I said, you have no feelings of no empathetic feelings for me, because all that means is you grew up on the beach. but he reminded me that no, Hawaii is full-blown cities, and so there's inner city, and then there's the nice areas, and there's not so nice areas. So we all think that Hawaii is just one big beautiful beach, and it's not. But it's okay for us to think about it that way, right?
Absolutely. It's still the Aloha State.
You grew up in that area. Tell us a little bit about how you evolved from there, and started making about $150,000 a month. Was that something to that effect?
Exactly. And well, a little bit about me. After graduating high school from Hawaii, I went to school up in Utah, went to BYU, spent some my college years there, and then gradually made trips down to San Diego to go surfing and hang out with some friends.
Okay. Again, we don't feel empathetic feelings for you.
And eventually meeting a San Diego girl and getting married and settling in San Diego, and made a home there. Was in the construction industry for almost 25 years, was a California contractor, and made a whole bunch of contacts and friends. Of course, you just make friends being on the beach in San Diego. And one of the friends I met introduced me to a company called Metabolife, which was started in San Diego. It was a multi-level marketing company that was selling weight loss products. Got involved with that, and in a matter of a few years, I saw MLM and the growth of it grow before my eyes. Where, like you said, before I knew it, I was opening $150,000 checks coming in the mail. And it was
the American dream.
and it was quite an amazing time in my life. Like I said, I grew up in of the poverty side of in Hawaii, but seeing this kind of money coming in the mailbox, I just couldn't believe it. It changed my life financially. And I actually saw how MLM could change somebody's life. And MLM stands for multi-level marketing.
You bet.
And it's
now, for any of you out there who are just tuning out, I personally am not a fan of MLM for myself. However, MLM is a viable way if you choose the right business. The problem with, this is just my humble opinion about MLM, is that why shouldn't somebody get paid to refer business to something that they already know is a great product of work? So the answer to that is they should be paid referral fees. We do that all the time. When somebody refers us a great client, we say thank you and we give them a referral fee. Now that doesn't turn us into a multi-level company. However, it is the way business should be done. And from a consumer standpoint, because most of our work is business to business, from a consumer standpoint, there is no reason that having multi-level marketing shouldn't be the absolute way that business is done here in the United States. However, from company to company, there are benevolent MLMs and there's none. But tell us a story about Metabolife, and that would be a good example. You have to do your homework ahead of time before you join a multi-level. And Metabolife was great while it lasted, but what happened?
Well, it's product and timing. Metabolife came out when the pharmaceutical product Fen-Phen took a dive. And then the public was looking for something to take its place. In comes Metabolife, a natural diet product, And you know, you take a pill, and next thing you know, you're losing weight. What a great concept to lose weight, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And
I've lost 85 pounds too. I did little vitamin pills, you know, and of course some exercise and eating right. And I ate a salad before I came on the air. So it has to do with the whole lifestyle. But I couldn't have done it without the vitamins. So you also accomplished a lot of good. So the research that you did, it was a great company to join. But sometimes leaders aren't the best, so they made some unfortunate decisions at the top of the company, which brought them down. Is that just a good way to leave that?
Exactly. Absolutely. It was unfortunate circumstances. And then we all went back to our day jobs.
Sure. but as in anything, once you get the taste of $150,000 checks, you know, you want to do some research. Tell us about the research you've done on the new business that you're in, and what that has to do with technology and the cloud, and how, you know, out of all the other multi-levels out there, why did you choose Digi?
Well, as you know, like I said, it's product and timing. In today's day and age, as you know, internet, Wi-Fi, connectability, you know, we live right now in an internet world. And we're not only in an internet world, we expect everything to be super fast. We want it now. We want it on any device, you know. They say right now, I don't know, 70% of Americans have a smartphone. And what can you do with a smartphone? You can connect. You can basically run your business from a phone.
Absolutely, and growing, by the way. Mobile phones are predicted to grow in size and in the worldwide population by at least 100 times in the next 6 years. So it is, and I mean, there's a reason why Apple struggled to beat Windows, and they just created the iPhone, and now they're a multi-billion-dollar company off of that one product.
And I'm glad you brought up Apple, because Apple is actually a good example. So take a look what they did. They almost failed. And what did they do? They looked at what happened to them. They said, okay, we got to bring something to market, something we can remanufacture, something we can duplicate, something we can build upon and get general public interest in it, and rebuild Apple. So they created what they call an ecosystem, a digital ecosystem. They created a data center that would house a e-commerce site, iTunes. It would be a distribution point for manufacturing of all of their product line, their pads, their phones. They created a place where you can actually go and check out their services and products called the Apple Store. And so they created an ecosystem where within their own name brand, they've captured an audience that all their products and all their services work together. So they created a digital ecosystem to where now Apple is branded.
Right.
It is a branded company, and anybody that wants to penetrate this ecosystem has to get permission.
Right.
And
They're
anybody
militant about that.
exactly, and anybody that wants to leave, you know, that device or something is no longer accepted back into the ecosystem. If you try to jailbreak your system, you can't come back in and play with them anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
And so this ecosystem is proven, like you said. They're right there with Windows, and I don't know, depending on what day you look at, they're one or two.
Right.
And so they're a giant, and they came from basically where they almost went belly up to now they're one of the giants in the world.
Absolutely.
And so we know we're just looking at them how powerful the digital arena is, and how powerful the cloud is, and their iCloud. Their iCloud has set precedents in the digital world, and from that, everything in the digital world now is starting to go what we call the cloud. Right. And the cloud is an amazing technology we're in today. And basically what that means is it's getting your data quickly through multiple sources of servers and data centers.
Right.
And so, you know, for instance, in the past, if you wanted to get a website, and I say, I want a website. Okay, so you go to ABC company, and they get your website, and they give you a little space on their little server, and everybody who types in their URL, they pull it from that one server. Well, depending on what's happening, it may take 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Well, now you've got all this data where it's connected to multiple servers and now I can reach it a lot more quicker and store a lot more across the board.
Absolutely. Now I want to take a moment and talk about the cloud for anybody who's just tuning in and hasn't figured out what the cloud is. The cloud is essentially another way of saying the internet. So that means that something's accessible through the internet. So what is the internet? It's a bunch of servers. What is a server? It's a computer that is actually connected to the internet for the sole purpose of receiving and getting information. So hopefully to kind of put it in more simple terms for anybody who is not understanding what the cloud actually is. And then the interconnectedness of these servers creates the internet, but data centers are very high security, in many cases specialized locations for servers to accomplish certain things. For example, VoIP cloud telecom services, or in some cases though it is individual servers that are specifically for the purpose, kind of like our previous conversation for data breach, just to make sure it's a safe place for a server, that nobody can steal it physically, that nobody can get into it unless you're a little bit careless with the use of your password. Okay,
Exactly.
so that is the cloud, and so when if you just always equate it's available across the internet every time somebody says the cloud, then it's not a confusing concept. So now you've created this ecosystem, which we are going to Digi has created this ecosystem, and we are going to talk about that ecosystem and what that does for the individual end user and how you can make money on that after the break. Thanks again for tuning in to The Social Universe, and I am your host, Kurt Wilhelm.